Yeah, running at 1,000. Queen 5, Queen 9, Raphael for 500,000 when it comes to the hand raises to 25. Ah, just to get in the hands again. Just Cowboys.
What's he going to do here? You think he's going to 3-bet him?
Well, he just called it with the aces earlier on, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a little bit different because he had a lot of players to act behind him. So when you're in early position, it actually looks absurdly strong to 3-bet. Now, here, we're playing short-handed. He's in the big blind. I think he's going to 3-bet because I think he's going to be perceived as the out-of-line, over-aggressive player at the table. So even though he might not have 3-bet this big blind before in this spot, I still think he's going to be perceived. It's going to be perceived that he could be full of it here.
Well, you got that one right, Andy. It looks like it's about 70 or 60.
Yeah, it's 70.
Yeah, 70.
He's really saying, you know, he can represent a bluff here. In a short-handed table, he can be saying, look, I'm not going to let you pinch my blind.
Is Raphael going to call thinking, well, I got position?
I mean,
you know, I don't really want to fold. I've got half a hand, Queen 9 offsuit. We're 5-handed. I know John's very aggressive. Does he have to have a hand to make this play?
Well, he's announced 4-bet to 130,000.
Yeah, that was literally what I was about to say. It's a bit of a ropey hand to flat call. You're not really connected enough. Even like Queen 10 is a bit marginal for peeling a 3-bet. You know, offsuit. You know, I wouldn't, if he had like something like Queen Jack suited, it wouldn't be terrible to peel the 3-bet. But I was going to say, if I would 4-bet or fold. If I thought that John was full of it here, I would do something exactly like what Raphael's done. So I like that. I like that play.
And now,
putting it back on Johnny.
If you're John, are you going to ship, happy to win the 130, or are you going to call and try and stack him?
My thought process here is that Raphael's super polarised on this 4-bet. So I think probably flat call. But it depends how strong.
If you flat call,
if he thinks Raphael's got it, you know, got a real hand like Jacks or something like that. If he feels that Raphael's strong, he should shove.
Not even on the edge, there's a split in there. Do we need to use this then? Oh, you can use it to use the weight tomorrow. Then you can use it.
Like I might go on it and shout out. If any player's got the shit from there.
Oh, you wanted to smash it out?
Yeah, I want to go swimming in the morning.
You're going to be waking me up again 3 times. Finish work at 3 in the morning and you start alarm. 6 AM every day. Keep 3. Can't say good days in the way. So welcome back one and all. The last 2 levels takes us to 1:20 in the morning. If you're going to stick with us till then, thank you very much. If it's a little bit too late for some people, then you can catch the action on YouTube, which is why we've had to refresh, so it captures all the footage. And please give us a shout if you're sticking with us all the way through. It's always much appreciated, you know that. So here we go. Final session. In seat number 1 is Philip Hepburn. Seat number 2 is Ryan Mandara. The Coventry Massive. Grant Wheelhouse is back with us in seat number 3. Seat 4, Joe Smith, who has been asked about. There's Joe in seat 4, Blackpool regular. I think he lives around the lives in between Blackpool and Blackburn, around that area, Bamber Bridge area.
I told Randy like when I was down
Evening, Vicky. Go, Joe, go. How did you do in the Summer Sizzler, by the way? Vicky played the Blackpool Summer Sizzler after winning one of our competitions at the Goliath. Good to have you on board, Vicky, and hope you're well. So quite a few well-known names to us on the GUKPT circuit. I'll give you a rundown of all the players and what they've cashed in and where they've been. Obviously we've got the Irish Open winner in seat number 2. We'll come back to him as we've got a flop of ace 7-4. Michael in 6. Joe in seat number 4 with the top pair, top kicker. Going to get it through. How you doing, Michael?
See you before, you know that.
Good, you? And Joe with the ace king is a winner. Level 13 of the 20 of the Summer Sizzler. Late one. And also got 2 shots of the 25-25 at the end of the month. I tell you what, it's the way to get in. Satellite into these events, the 25-25s and the Sizzlers and all the seasonal specials. Well done indeed to you. Good to see you in Blackpool. So this is the final session. If
Pocket sevens for Aaron. Under the gun +1. Raised to 1.8.
the heads up shot Joseph with the ace-10. Aaron with the 7s. Aaron Fletcher from Sheffield.
Flop of Jack 10 deuce rainbow. 2 overs to Aaron's 7s. Middle pair for Joseph. Top kicker.
So second pair, top kicker this time for Joseph. Another winner. Playing well. 118,000 going into the final 2 levels of the day. The blind's now 4-8 with a 1.
Been a really good day. 100 entries,
Yes.
lots of action on the featured table.
Yep. Phil, under the gun +1 raises to 1.7. Joseph again, got a premium hand. Ace-10 this time.
Ace-10 last time as well.
Ace-10 last time. Ace-King the time before. Easy game.
Yeah, easy game. Mindaugas with the ace-deuce of clubs in the small. He comes along. And now Chris Howe defends the big. So going 4-way to this flop.
3, 4, 6, but 2 clubs. Phil flops a flush draw, but so too does Mandagus in 7.
Really chunky bet here from Phil. He's bet over pot. Bet of 8k into a pot of 7.7k, so just over a pot size bet with a 9-8 of clubs here. And Mindaugas' decision here with the ace-deuce of clubs. He does have a wheel draw to go with it as well. And actually against hands like overpairs like queens, kings, jacks, you're actually an equity favourite with the ace-deuce of clubs in this spot. You've got direct outs, 3 outs to the ace, 3 outs to the 5, and then the 9 clubs.
C8, Chris kept his hands in his cards. We'll keep his eye on that.
And now because he's gone this big size, this is the problem.
We've ended up with an all-in and a snap call.
So drawing to just 8 or a 9. Does have running straight possibilities, but Mindaugas is going to love this spot when the cards are on their back. Never would he have believed after a call he'd have the best hand already in this spot.
Phil Hepburn, plenty of cashes in his resume.
So gutter ball picked up, so now 7 would get there for the 9-8.
Needs a 7, an 8, or a 9. He doesn't want the club because it's the nut flush. Philip Hepburn, who would love to have seen him playing because he's had 4 or 5 scores over in 5 figures.
And Mindaugas,
but we've just lost him.
Takes a big pot. You get to actually cash this year on the tournament circuit, Mindaugas.
So we lose Phil. Just telling the guys to put the cards in the box for a couple of seconds. Good to see Aaron Fletcher. Aaron's had some big scores. Plays a lot of cash. Quite high stakes as well. In cash is Aaron Fletcher. Seen him over in Vegas quite a few times playing the big ones, the 5-10s.
Came second in a 25-25 last year in London, Aaron Fletcher.
Good player.
Yeah.
Go play Sheffield's finest.
Cashed in Blackpool in the GUKPT main event last year. So Grant, who we saw on the feature table earlier, raises it up with the pocket tens, raised to 1.8k.
Now I'm thinking that Grant and Joseph have clashed in hands on their previous tables, because Grant, when I was walking around earlier, had about 70,000. So he has lost it. I'm not saying it was to Joseph, but it could well have been. But then again, it could be towards Mindigus, who's also got 140,000. But Grant had a lot more chips in the last session on the outer tables.
Chris here, in a bit of a spot. He's got 26 big blinds. I know we can see Grant does have pocket tens in this spot, but I wouldn't fault Chris for moving all in here at all.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't blame him for that. With all the dead money in the pot, there's been an open and 2 calls. Getting the shove through is massive in itself. And action back on Grant with the pocket tens.
Tough decision.
Yeah, really tough decision.
If he's got 60,000, he may call. A bit tougher now and then, it's half his stack. But he makes it. He makes the call. Any mess will get out of the way.
And the eights hate to see that. They're praying for a coin flip now, but going to get the bad news.
Yeah. So 10s for Grant. As Chris is all in with the Snowmen.
Tournament life at risk for Chris Howe in seat 8.
Ace, ace, deuce. Sure, ace, deuce was probably.
7 of spades on the turn doesn't change anything. Gonna need to find one of the 2 remaining 8s.
Either side.
And both players make a flush on
Yeah.
the river, but meaningless for the 8s of Chris, and we lose him from the tournament.
So Grant gets quite a few chips back, and he's back up to 70,000, which is what I saw him stack a couple of levels ago.
So we lose another one. Chris heading to the rail. Actually won the 25-25 here a few years ago, Chris Howe. I'm sure he'll be back tomorrow for another bullet.
Couple of quick eliminations.
Yep.
In level number 9.
Only 15 minutes into the level, and we've lost 2 already from the feature table.
The blinds are now 2,000, 4,000.
The Omaha is still going on. Over on the outer, Nathan Slater was involved. He's now been eliminated. God, Nath. 2 left in the Omaha. Don't know how many they paid, but in fact they're both standing up. Well, they're standing up because it's over. Back to the game, the hooks for Michael in 6. It's 2,000 to call after initial race from Enimas. Just gets out of the way.
And that was that.
King Queen didn't want to see a flop. So if you're making your way up to Leeds or down to Leeds tomorrow, safe journey to the Grosvenor Casino, and we will see you starting at 1 PM. Live stream is at 1:30.
As always, other than Sunday,
Yes.
when we kick off an hour earlier.
One. How many left?
31.
31.
31.
2 levels to go.
See a flop of 984, 2 hearts, top pair, top kicker for Aramis. Michael with the nut flush draw. So action here. In a 3-bet pot. Nine on the turn. So that's trips for Aramis with the ace-9. Feeling a 3-bet out position as well. Very hard for Michael to give Aramis credit for a 9x type of hand. Effective pot size bet in the middle, and he's been snapped off.
Yeah. All in and the call. Aramis with trip 9s needs to avoid a heart to stay in the game. Aramis, ace 9. The river is a diamond. He survives and gets a big double up.
Yeah, big pot that. He's
Is
just
it
taken
Aramis
down.
that won the 25-25?
I'm not sure. I am not sure. I can find out.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Didsbury. He had a good 12 months, did Aramis Livonis.
I think he won 25-25 in Birmingham. Was it?
Indeed it was Didsbury. I remember because I think Stuart Rutter was on the final table as well.
Main event he's won. He's a GUKPT champion. 5:15 main event Didsbury.
That was a 550.
Yeah, it's
well,
5:50.
there you go.
There you go. So
I know it was a big one in Didsbury when we used to go to the Didsbury, the 500 in I think it was the only time we went to Didsbury.
and he did win a 25-25 as well in Birmingham.
No, he's a dual winner. I know it was good. He had like a good 12 months, 18-month period when he was always seems to be cashing for lots. So well done, Aramis. Always good to see him. Back to the game. He's got 10s under the gun. He raises to 2,000. He gets called in 2 spots. Looks like he's going to get called in 3 spots. Because Grant will defend with ace-9 suited, which he does. Joseph will not do anything with the old 8-5, no matter how many chips you've got.
I think he's calling here, Joe, closing the action.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think he's definitely flicking it in, 8-5 suited. Closing the action, getting a really
Maybe that's
attractive
how he got all
price.
his chips.
Yeah, he's getting 7.5 to 1 on the call. I'm definitely calling there with hand like 8-5 of spades.
Okay. Flop, Queen, Jack, 3.
It's a middle pair for Mendogas. He has the best of it. 2 overs to the pocket 10s of Aramis. Much ado about nothing for everybody else. But 5-way to this flop. Expect it to check for a lot of the time. As it does.
Yeah. Free card for the 10. Free card for the 10s. Any 10s about?
Yeah, set on the turn. It's actually action as well because Mendogas now picks up an up and down to
And
go
Grant.
with his middle pair. And Grant also has an up and down. bet of 4.5k. Quick call from Mindorgus. Everyone else should be getting out of the way. Grant won't be calling with his up and down. He is getting an attractive price, but he's really only drawing to the 8 on the river, as the king's going to be no good a lot of the time. You're then behind to ace-x. Heads up to the river, and it is an 8. Check from Eramus.
If only the ace-9 was in the end. The ace-9 of spades folded.
And now Mindorgus looking to turn his king-jack into a bluff here. Flush does get there. He does have the king of hearts blocker. He does have a jack in his hand, so he blocks potential 2-pair combos that may call. Having a long, hard think about this. So what he's repping here, Mindorgus, he's pretty much repping flushes and 9x. I think we can exclude the 9x from his range. Reason being, I don't think he calls unless it's a hand like Queen 9, which he probably would have bet the flop with on the turn with a 9x with 3 players behind him. So I think we can exclude them type of hands from his range. And now he's only really representing flushes, and it's a tough spot for Eramus, but question is, would he peel with just a bare flush draw on the turn with three players behind? And he does make the call. I like the call there. I think it just is a very wet board, but just the way the hand's played, pretty much has to have a flush there that we're losing to. Can't really give him credit for 9x, and makes a nice call on the river there with the set of 10s.
Yeah, just looking at the final table of the 500, Mr. CardroomDirect.com finished in 6th. It wasn't a final table that Stu Rutter hit, but what a final table. If you look at all them names,
I'm having a look now.
Matt Davenport,
Ben Windsor,
Justin Davenport, Tom Hall,
what's Andy doing in there?
and Andy Booth. Well played, Andy. Andy Booth in 6th. That was a great final, by the way. That was awesome.
Yeah, look at that table.
That was a proper final table. And also, the guy who finished second, Yanni Yenev, he was on the scene for quite a while. Folded round to the hijack where Aaron gets involved. Eramus with the 5 deuce is getting out of the way. So you can add Didsbury to another card room that we don't use for a GUKPT where they've been before. Imagine visiting every card room again in the same season. We could be working every week. So 31 players left the last time we saw. Grant has just increased his stack after taking Chris Howe out.
Raised to 1.8k.
Who announces all-in? I thought it was an all-in call, then.
Aramis
He said calling. I thought he said all-in.
calls out of the small, heads up to the flop.
Flop of Jack 10-8. Delicious.
Top 2 for Aramis. Grant, we're just 6 high here. So I think that check on the flop means he's done with this hand.
Does he want to rep? Will Animus call once?
I think he will with the 2 pair here. Grant can credibly have a lot of Queen X zone. He will know that. A lot of hands like King Queen, Ace Queen, Queen 10 that he check back the flop with.
Or is it the 6 on the river? Animus checks again.
And
He
Grant
also
gives up.
brings the flush out as well, but he goes check, check. Jay's looking at the final table that Animus won and nodding his head thinking, yeah, tough table. Get me out of there.
Yeah. If you got any questions, anything you need to know about the event or events going on over the weekend, fire them in via Twitter, hashtag GUKPT. I think we'll probably do another Twitter comp tomorrow.
We will indeed. In the first few levels, probably level 3 or 4 or even maybe level 5 after the dinner break seemed to work well today. Level 5 is when we did it today, so that's probably when we'll do it again tomorrow for another £30 total. We like giving away totals.
Aaron, under the gun, +1, raised to 1.8k. Michael in the small blind, pocket 9s. Makes the call, and Mindaugas, Jack 8 in the big blind. Again, an attractive price, so elects to defend freeway to the flop. Flop of Queen 7-3, 2 clubs. Michael with the best hand at this point.
Is Aaron getting a bit giddy with the ace high?
I think it's we've got to be continuing this flop in this spot. Queen 7-3. It's dry board texture. Bet 2.5k. A lot of the time it will just get the job done, but gonna meet some resistance from Michael with a pocket 9s, expecting to be calling. At least one. As he does, and Mindaugas easy fold, so heads up to this turn.
Three of diamonds on the turn.
So it doesn't really change much if Michael had the best hand on the flop. It should still be the best hand now. Aaron never got any 3x in his range, opening under the gun +1, other than ace-3 suited, just the 2 combos.
1,000. The running ante is now 100.
He checks behind, takes the free one, 10 on the river. Michael will be checking once more with the pocket 9s here. And a quick check back with the ace-jack, and he's going to take this one down. Nice little pickup, 11k pot.
So incoming new dealer, halfway through level number 9 of the day. Has Joe got a season ticket with the feature tables? Show you so on the Goliath feature. Well, if you play a GUKPT event or anything that we cover, you have a chance of getting on the feature table. And maybe that's just the luck of the draw.
It's in your own hands as well if you get on the feature table or not, because if you make the final, you're guaranteed to be on it. Aaron, pocket kings under the gun. Raised to 1.8k. That's a resistance from Aramis in the cut-off of the ace-5 suited. And Lee makes the call in the big blind with the 7-4 off. Freeway to the flop.
8, 10, 6. Rainbow. Cowboys still big favourites.
7-4 of Lee though has flopped a double gutter here. Any 9 or 5 will make him a straight. Quick fold from Aramis. And Lee getting 3-1 on the call. Makes the call, wants to see a turn card. Aaron will be aware this better flop for the big blinds range than it is for his.
8 of clubs, pairs on the turn.
Expect this to go check check a lot of the time now. Can credibly have a lot of 8x here, Lee. Sort of hands like 8-9 suited, 8-7. If he's peeling 7-4 off, he can have 8-7 off, 8-9 off. And it just puts Aaron in a tough spot if he gets check raised here on this turn. But he has reaching for chips. Fires again.
7,000 is the bet.
And what the check behind actually does as well, it can induce bluffs on the river from your opponent.
It is cool. Still got the double gutter.
And the river's a 6.
I think Aaron is pretty confident now that he's got the best of it. Unless he puts him on a 6.
It's all into call.
It is. It's his tournament life.
So from Aaron's perspective here, with the bet size on the turn, I think Lee would have just moved all in with all his 8x. So now all he's really repping on this river is 6x type of hands. So 6-7, 6-9, the only hands he can really have here for value. Yeah, he will have some 8x, maybe some boats on the turn that he's just trapping with. But the problem from Aaron's perspective as well, what bluffs can he have? What hands can he turn up with in this spot? And you can't think of many off the top of your head. You don't expect him to turn 10x into a bluff. So it's only really 7-4 and Jack-9 that he can have for his bluffs. So this is a gross spot looking at it from that standpoint. Doesn't really have many 6x and doesn't really have too many bluffs. It's a really, really gross spot for his tournament life here on the river for Aaron. And when you're in these marginal spots, this is where paying attention at your table all day long can really help you out. See if you can pick up anything on your opponent, if they're doing something different from earlier when they had a strong hand at showdown, or if they're doing the same thing. And that's why it's so important just to be aware of your surroundings at the table and the tendencies and
This
how
is
your
a tough
opponent
spot.
acts. Oh, it's a grim spot, really horrible spot for Aaron here. A really horrible spot. And he does get out of the way, and Lee takes that one down with the 7 high. Was playing the board. And I can't fault the Kingsville fold there. It's just, first of all, Jack-9, yeah, he'd be defending out the big. 7-4, he's not really going to defend that hand all the time unless it's suited. And this case did see it was the offsuit variety, but grim spot there for Aaron, and just gets out of the way. I can't fault him for a fold. Wouldn't have faulted him for a call or a fold. Just one of them grim spots you sometimes get yourself into at poker.
Yeah. Like you say, you can't fault him for folding that hand. He'll get the messages coming through saying you got the best of it, but
Yeah,
it's still in the tournaments.
so hard to have a bluff there, and it's also hard for him to have sort of a value hand, sort of 8x. You'd expect to just jam turn, and 6x. Really cool with 6x 2 straights, other than the 6x with the gutter balls. But on to the next one. Grant under the gun of +1, ace king of diamonds, raised to 1.8k.
So heads up, ace jack against the ace king and a flop of 9 queen 7.
Both players were just ace high. Grant, with the best of it, has Mindaugas outkicked. It's gone check check. Take a turn.
Click that button, young man. 4 of hearts on the turn. As it's checked, brings Mindaugas with the nut flush draw. So now bet 6.5.
So over a pot size bet on
And a call.
the turn. 2.5, that makes a lot more sense.
I thought he said 6.5. I apologise.
2.5. So the ace king calls once. After it's checked him twice, Mindaugas is going to be firing a lot of his range on the turn. So now this is an interesting spot. After he elects to double barrel here, what hands does he really have for value that take this line? All his 9x that may bet the turn for thin value, and sort of 10s, 8s maybe, that sort of bet for thin value, wouldn't barrel this river. All his queen x you expect to bet flop. So he's not really repping too much here that he can have for value. A hand that's just got there on a river 6-5 suited. He may have peeled pre-flop, picked up and down on the turn, elected to barrel and got there. But I think Grant's going to make the call here. We saw him make a really good fold earlier on in the day, so obviously a competent player. And if he breaks this one down, I think he's going to flick it in and make the call with ace high. It just don't make sense really. He's repping such a thin range, and he does make the call
It
with ace
does
high.
make
Very nice to see. It's just about understanding how the hand's played out, and you can comfortably make what looks like a hero call of ace high, but when your opponent's repping such a thin value range in the way the hand's played, you can comfortably flick it in there, and when they have the 6-5 suited, which they will show up with some of the time, just say nice hand and move on. And when you are sort of bluffing rivers, it's very important to understand what value hands you can actually have in that spot. You don't want to be bluffing rivers when it don't make much sense and you're repping such a thin range. You want to be choosing the spots to bluff where you can credibly have lots of hands for value. Because the better opponents will figure out sort of what you're trying to represent, how many value hands you can have if it's a thin value range, and makes the right call based on that. And vice versa, when you are value betting, think about the bluffs you can have in the spot as well, and choose your sizing dependent on that.
So Grant under the gun. Bill 7 deuce gets out of the way. Uh-oh, he's talking to Dave. Uh-oh, multitasking is not his forte. Uh-oh. Joseph makes it 1.3. 1800, sorry, with the blinds of 4-8. So 20 minutes or so, and then they'll go to 500, 1000 for the last level of the day.
It's Michael, pocket jacks.
If you stood like that against me, the ball went behind you, I tell you now, I'd slap it straight against you and say, oh!
Just calls the open from Joe, under the gun and +1. They're bringing some Mindaugas along with the 5-4 suited. Lee makes the call on the button with King-Queen. Aaron gets out of the way with the 4-3 of spades in the small. And Ryan defends the big blind with the Queen-10 off, so we're going 5-way to this flop tower.
5-way to the flop. Flop of 7, 8, 9, all spades. Joseph could have flopped it.
Lee with the second nut flush draw, Michael with the overpair and guttable. Mindaugas will be done with the hand.
Joseph's cards are in the box, so we're not sure why they're not showing. Looking back down at them. Is he interested?
It looks like he is.
Yes, he is, he says.
So Michael in C6 has fired with the pocket jacks. And Joe makes the call. Heads up to the turn.
So not seen the turn card yet. Joseph did call. Michael.
Yeah, the fact Michael's looking to double barrel here is probably low sort of red card.
Yeah.
Or club. It's a 3 of hearts. 8.5k. Action back on Joe here, under the gun +1. He's opened early position. I think he will have a lot of hands that have the ace of spades in his hand, the way it's played at the moment. He will have some flop nut flushes as well. Some.
He does make the call.
So I think you can have hands like ace jack, ace 10 with the ace of spades, and the 6 of hearts on the river.
Ace 10 with the ace 10 of spades makes a bit of sense as well. But now if he has a 10 in his hand, you're going to be thinking he's going to be leading, don't you?
Yeah, I think he will lead all 10x, but then again, if he's leading all 10x, he wants to incorporate some leads with like ace of spades into his hand like ace queen with the ace of spades. Be a potential bluff opportunity. And I think he's so sure that Mike was checking back this river so often. think. Eventually he checks and a snap check behind, and the pocket jacks are good. I'm guessing he had a hand like ace queen with the ace of spades, maybe ace king with the ace of spades, them type of hands. We'll never know.
We will never know. We'll have to ask him right at the end. What did you have? Vicky shouts, have the spades, Joe. We don't know why the cards didn't show. That's,
got around 10 minutes left of this level, and then we'll move into the final level of the day.
Size of the ball. You can't argue with that. Size of the ball. In tennis.
Joe under the gun with the ladies, pocket queens, just a limp. Limps him for 800. Mindorgus wants to get involved with the 7-6 of diamonds. Wow, this is a caller alert. Ryan here playing a stack of 32 big blinds. Raised to 3.5k, and this is only going one way. Joe's gonna limp re-raise the pocket queens here. Ryan's gonna move all in. Joe's gonna call, and Ryan's gonna be well on his way to a double up. Music to Ryan's ears. This. Okay, he's just called. Wow, really deceptive. It might actually save him money if it's an ace or a king high flop. And Mindorgus comes along now with all the chips in the 7-6 of diamonds. Going three-way to the flop. Flop of a jack, deuce, 7. Ryan playing a stack of 23k, expecting to bet sort of 4 or 5k here, just so you can comfortably move in on a lot of turn cards. And a raise from Joe, all in from Ryan, call from Joe, and he's going to get the bad news. And Ryan on his way to a double up. No backdoors for Joe, so just has to fade one of the 2 remaining queens. And it's a brick on the river, so Ryan's going to double up near 60k pot. And Joe taking a couple of hits in back-to-back hands, back down to around 70k. Still perfectly fine, 90 big blinds, more than a playable stack. Folded round to Aaron in the cut-off, ace 10, raised to 1.8k. Aramis in the big blind. Going to defend the king 6. People defend really wide nowadays, just because of the price you're getting, closing the action, heads up pots, you're only splitting your equity 2 ways. So you do see a lot of wide defends in the poker world nowadays from the big blind against an open. Flop of queen 6-9. Bottom pair for Aramis. Takes the lead. Check, check, flop. 3 of hearts on the turn. Now we see Aramis fire with the king 6. And takes it down. 4-8, running ante of 100 for another 5 minutes, just over. And then the blinds will go up to 500, 1,000, and we will commence the last level of the day. Lee with the queen 10, under the gun +1, raised to 2.1k. Bit of a marginal open, the queen 10, lots of players behind. Sometimes it's just better to throw it into the mark, because you get yourself in some tough spots. You can't compete against a free bet. It's just a lot better to let the queen 10 go early position, pre-flop in this scenario. There are arguments for opening a lot wider from early position to do with table dynamic. And if the big blind is overfolding, in this case it was Michael in the big blind, and I think he would be defending pretty wide. So Aramis free bets the pocket aces to 5.9k, and it's going to get the job done. Wants to show him, has a little pill, and that will be that.
You lost out.
I lost out. What,
Yeah,
the big cup?
there's only one big cup.
Ah.
Sorry. That's what you get when you T-boy, you see. I don't know why I ended up the T-boy. 28 left.
28 left.
28 left.
Nearly down to 3 tables.
Yeah, and we're nearly on the last level.
Yep, 5 minutes.
What have I missed?
Not much. Aramis had aces, free bet them pre-flop, got it through. There's a hand.
Where's Joe gone?
Joe has been moved.
I'm going to say he can't have been eliminated.
No, he
That'd have
hasn't
been a
been
monster
eliminated.
hand.
But he did lose 2 pots, Joe. He ran queens into pocket aces. Ryan Mandara doubled up to 60k now.
Yeah.
And then he lost another big pot with the against pocket jacks. Didn't actually see his holding. I believe he was here for that actually. The 9-8-7 of spades flop.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, we didn't see his hand, did we?
So to the flop after an open from Aaron and a call on the button from Aramis.
Heads up to the flop. Jack 10-3.
Top pair for Aaron. Not much for Aramis here. I think this will be hand done. Just going to see Aaron continue, and Aramis got an easy fold.
Loving the split screen when we're heads up.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch.
I like it. We just need to see where the cards are from the player that it's in, when it's directly aimed at him. which is Aaron in C9. Ennimus gets out of the way. Ding ding, you're not wrong, man, you're not wrong. I made the last cup, I can't believe it. T-boy now, T-boy.
If I went and got him though, I still would have given you the big cup.
Oh, you're a good egg. You're a good one.
Grant with Ace King again. Saw him hero about 6-7 hands ago with Ace King on the river for a big pot. Short stack at the table is Aaron. 19.4k, 24 bigs, still plenty of wiggle room with that stack size, no need to panic. I'm sure he's been there many a time playing a stack around 20 to 25 bigs, know what to do. And that's the thing with poker, even when you are short stack, as your stack gets shorter and shorter, the more shorter your stack gets, the easier it becomes to play. Decisions become more straightforward.
Race to 17 as Ryan Mandara, Irish Open champion from Coventry, gets involved.
Mindorgus on the button, Ace King, incoming free bet, I suspect. Makes it 5.1k, exactly 3x. Back on Ryan with the Jack 8 of spades. In fact, he's opened under the gun here and he's been free bet against the bun. Makes it more of a slam dunk fold. It's out of position, not the best of hands, not much going for him. He lets that one go. So this is going to be the last hand on the 4-8 level. And then the blinds will be going up, 500, 1,000, running ante of 100. Ace Queen for Grant. He's been picking up some decent hands pre-flop. Raised to 1.8k. Aramas under the gun at +1. With the same hand, 3 bets to 4.5k. And Ryan with the Ace King of Hearts here in the big blind.
Delicious. Perfect squeezing opportunity.
Yeah, is he going to pull out the cold 4? He's definitely not folding. He's just having a quick count of his chips, seeing what he's playing here.
They're all pretty deep as well, aren't they? They're all pretty deep at 500, 1,000 next hand for the last level.
And he looks so strong as well if Ryan does elect a 4-bet here. Under the gun open, under the gun +1 3-bet, and then the cold 4 out of the big blind. Which he does, cold 4 to 11.8k. And now Grant's got a pretty easy fold with the Ace Queen. Ace Queen is a good hand, but after this action makes it a really easy fold. And back to Aramas here.
We'll have a think about it and then
And he
slide
gets
her
out
in
of
the
the way
mud.
as well.
2 good folds. Pretty standard from Grant, like you said.
I think even Aramas has got to let that one go. I don't think Ryan's going to be cold 4-bet bluffing against a UTG Open and a UTG +1 3-bet. So I think it's an easy fold with the ace queen there after that action.
Mark Pennington, who's in Greece, in sacking off. Puts the live stream on the missus says, "You're not watching the poker again?" He says, "No, I'm watching the GUKPT." She went, "Right, that's fine." You gotta love it. Hope you're having a great time, Mark. 30 odd degrees in Greece at the minute. Beautiful clear blue skies, apparently. Hope you're having a great time. But it's good to have you on board after a good night. What is Greece, 2 hours in front? I think it is, isn't it?
Yes.
2 hours in front, so it's like 2:20 in the morning. Just a quick drunken check on how the GUKPT has gone. Just to let you know, there's been 100 runners on day 1-8, and we're down to 28. When the table fills up, you know we're down to 27. Alan Fletcher gets his 20 bigs in.
Yeah, I
And the
like
line's
this.
now up to 500, 1,000.
Not enough players that I see in live tournament poker. You see it a lot more online, but not enough players in live tournaments take this spot. 20 bigs open and a call. We got Jack 10 suited. We just rip it in, and we're going to get folds more often than not.
Yeah.
And the times we are called, like for 20 bigs, we're going to fold out hands like Ace Jack, Ace 10. They should be folding. So then when we are called, unless we're up against the queens, the kings, or the aces, we're in quite good shape. Around 40% against Ace King, Ace Queen, them type of hands. And it's a nice little pick up there from Aaron. It's a really good way to improve your tournament game as well. Sort of taking them light shove spots after an open. And when you are called, and you are caught with your hands in the cookie jar, you can get there some of the time. Equities always run closest pre-flop, so it's better to get it in as a bluff pre-flop than it is on the river. So Ryan opening the 9-7 off on the button, gets it through. Folded all the way round to Ryan in the cutoff. Opens the Queen 9. And Michael with the same hand, but of the suited variety in the big. He will be defending.
Two players, heads up.
Ryan's going to win this pot.
10, 5, 6 to us.
He's going to win this pot a lot of the time when they've got the same hand, just because he's got the betting lead. And that's how important the betting lead is in pots.
Yep, exactly. Spot on.
Blinds 5,500, running ante off 100. Last level of the day. We'll be finishing up somewhere between 1:15 and 1:30 this morning. Been a really good day so far. Thanks to everyone that joined in on Twitter earlier in the competition.
Yeah, it's been a great day. Great day.
So Ryan, as we approach the end of the day, really trying to apply some pressure here. Third hand on the trot that he's opened. This time the Jack 8 off. And he's heads up against the pocket fives of Aramas. And that is an above average flop when you open the Jack 8.
9-10 Queen, 2 hearts. You've got Jack 8, delicious. How on earth do we get any kind of call, any kind of money out of any mass?
That's that. Job done.
Yeah. Raji, you're watching but should be working. Is that Raji who's like tournament director sat here?
I can't see
Is that our Raj? Is that Raji? Raji. See if she's on the phone. Where is she? She's there. Hello, Raji. I don't think it's our Raji. Good evening if it is.
I don't think it is, Raj. Multitasking at its finest. So we're six-handed at the moment on this table.
Yeah, as soon as we get down to 27, we'll be moving players over. Better 2200 from Ryan under the gun +1.
Sorry, seven-handed. Grant isn't actually in his seat at the moment.
Folded out. Yeah, Ryan's in seat 2, isn't he?
Yeah. So Ryan opening the fourth pot on the trot. And got some action from a hand that he has dominated. Ace deuce for Lee in the big blind. Flop of king 7 6 2 spades, nut flush draw for Ryan. Really smashing the flops at the moment. And has Lee called here? Just ace high?
He has just called with ace high.
Okay, what I think this is, it might be it's just taking a stand really. Ryan's been aggressive the last orbit, he's been involved in the last 4 hands, and he might just think he can never have it. And a spade on the turn.
Flush the nuts. And Ryan.
Now Lee's going to lead out, drawing dead.
Surely just flat, don't we?
Is there... It's merit in raising here. I like a raise. I know it's not going to work in this spot, but in this particular spot, I'm probably raising. Just because his lead here looks like the 5's helped his hand. Hand's like 8-9 now, get there. He can have a worse flush. He can a turn 2 pair with a hand like 6-5 suited, 7-5 suited, king 5 suited. So I'd like to see a raise. I know it's not going to work, and Ryan does elect to raise. The other reason being as well, you want to get as much chips in by the river. If we just flat, it's very hard to win a big pot by the river. Because a lot of the time we're just going to go check, bet, fold, or when he does have it, bet, raise, fold. And if he's already got it, it's going to get action on the turn anyway. So yeah, can't fault Ryan for raising there. I think it's the right play in that spot. Yeah, a lot of players sort of turn the nuts and they just flat, but you've got to think of hands that your opponent can have and what they can possibly have and how we can extract value from them hands. And I think raising that spot just because you can have so much for value is the right play.
Michael with the ace-10. Raises in the cut-off. The button's not getting involved. Neither. Here's a small blind. Does Adam want to see a flop with ace-7? Probably. Yep, indeed, indeed.
Heads up to this flop. 8-6-4, 2 clubs. Aaron picks up a gut shot to go with his ace high. He also has a range advantage on this board, so when he goes check on the flop, he can sort of go bet a lot of the time, fold out some ace highs, but that's a bad turn card. If he did want to make that sort of play, Michael can plausibly have a lot of Queen X in his range. I think if we saw like a 3 or a 2 or even a 6, 4 or 8 on the turn there, we would have seen Aaron bet this turn. But because it's the Queen, that's going to be hand over, bet a 4.5k.
So it's 4.5 to call. Pretty hard to call with ace-7. He doesn't. So the last level of the day. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, all the way through. Good day today. Plenty of you watching the GUKPT all the way to the end of the day. If you are off to bed and you want to catch up with the last hour's play, then you can always watch it on YouTube. So YouTube/GUKPT. The recording will be up so you can watch yourself. A lot of players like to watch themselves as well, don't they? Like to watch it back. Did you get the opportunity last year when you played? No, you went on the feature table when you got eliminated, didn't you?
No, not when I was eliminated, but I was on the feature table start of day 3.
Yeah, I saw in one of the old clips. You saw the hat.
Yeah, I think I was on the feature table like 5 or 6 main events last year for the tour.
We liked you.
I was on it a lot. Yeah,
We liked
it was
you.
the hat, wasn't it? That's what done it. So RLS, 8-7 of hearts under the gun +1. Raised to 2.2. Michael on his direct left, 3 bets to 5.8k. And I think that will be a job done.
Jobbeth, doneth. That's pretty impressive. We've got 2 different angles of the same 2 people. Yeah? The right hand side's the one to see because obviously the action's on the left hand side, so we just can't see the action from Michael in seat number 6.
So Aramas makes a call here out of position with the 8-7 of hearts. Not the biggest fan. If you want to continue, it's probably better to 4-bet this hand, especially if you think Michael's getting out of line too often. But the problem is you get yourself in a lot of tough spots in a bloated pot. A lot of the time you're going to flop like middle pair, maybe some gut shots, a couple of overs. You just get yourself in some tough spots with a hand like 8-7 of hearts. In position, definitely PLX, you could dictate action on the streets, but it's gone check, 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 check. See the river, which is the jack of diamonds, and the ace queen is going to take it down.
Yeah, good to have you on board, Vicky. Working till 10. Oh, well, we're here all weekend. We are here all weekend, 1:30 in the afternoon till around about 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, good afternoon, or good evening, or good night. What is it, half past midnight?
These long days.
These long days,
you forget what
absolutely.
time it is. Folded round to Aaron on the button. 20 big blinds. Just raises it up with the King 5 of diamonds. Off these 20 big blind stacks, you still need some stills in your range. Reason being, sort of off them 15 to 20 big blind stacks. Reason being, so when you do get a hand like aces, kings, queens, and you don't just want to move all in and just raise, that you can get action. If your opponent's aware that you do have stills in your range as well, you can get action. And in this case, it just picks it up with a King 5.
So Vicky's working again tomorrow, but she'll be back. And she's glued already, which is great to see. Love having you lot on board. And about 45 minutes to go until the end of the day, and bagging and tagging will start.
Aaron lets the King 8 go in the cut off. Ryan gets out of the way with the 5-4 on the button. Grant in the small, Ace 7. Raised to 2.5. Aramis wants to take a flop in position with the Queen 6.
Please. Does he get lucky? Two players see a flop of 4-2-2.
Ace 7 going to be the best hand a lot of the time here. And it goes check, check. 5 on the turn, so both players pick up a straight draw. Grant with the wheel draw, and Aramis has a straight draw to the 6. A 3K. And Grant correctly calls with ace high. Ace on the river.
Checkity check. Ace 7 on the river. Always in front. We'll just cement it as Grant. Up to 73 bigs. Aaron Fletcher down on 23 bigs is a short stack on the table, but not in any danger.
Looking around the room, I noticed Ali Malou still in.
Ali Malou. What Ali?
And Terry Jordan on the same table, both of them. What
Wow.
a table.
What a sable. Oh, to be sat in the middle of them.
I think someone is. I think it's, yeah. Terry Jordan, someone I don't know, and then Ali Malou. Someone sandwiched in the middle.
I wonder when they finish. I think they're just being battered by Bruno and Mike Tyson.
Blind on blind action here. Aramas with the Jack-9 suited. Got some resistance from Michael with the 5-3 suited. Heads up to the flop.
King 8-4 rainbow.
Both players with some nice backdoor possibilities, but not much at the moment.
5-3 is obviously going to run a runner for the straight.
Run a straight flush possibility.
Oh,
Why not?
absolutely. We've got flush draw possibilities. We've got straight draws for Aramas.
Is Aramas going to take one off with his gut shot here? He is not having none of it.
And there it is, the old 5-3. $12K in the middle. Quite a chunky bet. It's at 95. It's out of the way. Does Aramas.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was about on the turn. Just with a gut shot, wasn't getting nowhere near the right price to make the call. And had just jack high, which was good at the time, but very rarely going to be good at showdown.
So Lee raises it up under the gun to 3,000. 3x with ace queen of hearts. Aramas calls. Michael with a jack 5 gets out of the way. And the big blind also getting out of the way. So it heads up to the flop. Aramas pipped with ace jack. See a flop of 7-3-3.
And ace queen going to be the best hand here a lot of the time, so Lee comfortably
one
bets
bet, one win.
and takes it down.
Phil tomorrow then. Phil tomorrow.
Aaron under the gun, ace 3, lets it go. Ryan, gone quiet for a couple of hands, but straight back into the action this time with the 8-5 of clubs, raised to 2.2. Mindaugas can't be calling the Queen 9 off out the small against an early position open. And Lee with pocket 7s in the big blind makes the call. Heads up to this flop. Flop of Queen, Queen of 4. Ryan continues. and Lee makes the call. Pretty good flop for the pocket sevens. Even better turn. So Ryan drawing a dead, and it's gonna double barrel here. After this double barrel gets called here on the turn, or raised, if he gets raised he'll be done with the hand, but after it gets called I think he'd expect to fold out all flush draws on the turn, so gonna give Lee credit for sort of a Queen X type of hand and expect him not to lose any more money on the river. Won't be bluffing at it the way this is played. Unless the 6 does peel off, 6 would be a pretty brutal one. It's a raise to 9.5k from Lee. Okay, Ryan makes the call here. Obviously isn't giving Lee credit for a 7. For a queen, sorry. 10 on the river. Thought process might be that if Lee just checks river over to him, he can then barrel and get the bluff through. But we see a bet and a very quick fold. It'd be interesting to understand the thought process on the turn there and making the call. Obviously getting an attractive price, but just the one card to come can be drawing dead in that spot some of the time as well. Folded all the way round to Michael in the cutoff. Ace 8 of spades. Be coming in for a raise.
Is Amos asleep?
I think he's on his phone, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. And Michael's just going to get that one through, picking up blinds and antes. Around half hour left of the level.
I do believe we're now chopping table 4, which means we're down to 27 and we'll be getting new players around our table. A couple of seats empty, seats 1 and seat 4. Lights 500, 1000, running ante of 100, the last level. Here they come the boys to fill the table. It does mean we're down to 27. I recognise that face.
I recognise that face too.
Is that our Gary? Mr. Whitehead? And Riggy. What's he going to get called today on this level? Riggy sat in seat number 1. Going along nicely. Flop of ace of diamonds, king of diamonds, 8 of clubs.
Gut shot for Lee, and just the 5 high for Ryan, and that's job done on the flop. So no one really at risk here approaching the end of the day. Aaron does have 20 big blinds, but I don't think he'll get that in light.
78 he's come to the table with, as Riggy. Just texting his buddies back in Manchester and Blackpool, where he plays a lot of cash and plays the 25-25s and the Sizzlers and all the seasonals. That's 2.3 under the gun +1 with 9.5.
Yeah, not a fan. Just this.
There's going to be a 3-bet coming in by Lee.
Yeah, there will
Big
be.
chunk, 112,000.
That's the problem with just opening bad hands, early position. You've got a lot of players to get through, and a lot of the time when you get resistance, you've never got the best hand. You get yourself in a lot of tricky spots. You're opening early position, so on a lot of flops, you're going to be out of position. Going to be acting first, or there'll be players acting behind you. Flop a Jack 3-2. And it's CRMS continue. We're going to get to the flop with 9-5 and have the betting lead. Glad to see a continuation bet in the spot, and it does take it down on that occasion, but just long-term opening hands like 9-5 from early position without good reason. Sometimes you can open certain hands or any two because of the table dynamic, because a really good spot crops up, but just want to be flicking it into the mark. A nice pick up nonetheless, chipping up nicely. In about 15 minutes the clock will be paused, and then we'll get you the number of hands that we're going to play to end the day. Mindorgus, Ace-6 of Hearts, raised to 2.7k. Aaron Ace Jack, 20 bigs over and under the gun +2 open, moves in. Takes it down uncontested. Thanks to everyone that's been tuned in today. Been a fun-filled day of action. I know some of you have been here from the start till the very end. We are back tomorrow from half one start, finishing up around the same sort of time, 1:15, in the morning. And day 1B, I can assure you it's going to be a big one. Expecting a big turnout, 100 entries today, halfway to the guarantee, but I'm sure that will be smashed at some point tomorrow. Michael, under the gun, pocket fives. Raised to 2.5k. And in this spot, pocket fives are actually fine to open under the gun. Reason being, this late in the day, there's only one stack that can really shovel you, and that's Aaron. And even now with 25 bigs, I don't think he'd be ripping over and open for 25 bigs from too many hands. So you know you're not going to get shoved on light with the pocket fives if you open. There'll be some table dynamics. If there was a couple of 15 big blind stacks, I think we would have seen the fives go into a muck. That's why dependent on how you play a hand can be so important of the stack sizes around you. Folded round to Gary on the button, raised to 2.5k with the deuces. Aramis makes a pretty loose pill in the small with the jack deuce. And that brings Michael along. Flop of king 9-5, 2 hots, and see a c-bet from the deuces. Do actually have the best hand and get it through.
Here we go.
He's not wrong, is he?
Here we go. What's happening, son?
Not much, not much.
What's happening?
Been
The last
pretty-
few hands of the day.
Been pretty quiet.
In about half an hour from the end of the day. Big thanks, one and all, for tuning in all day long. We know it's a late day now with the 10 levels. It goes on till 1:15, 1:30 in the morning, but always much appreciated. And we're back again. Shall we do it all again tomorrow? Yes. 1:30 we're here in the club for the start of the main events live stream. And 10 levels of poker plus the breaks. It's a 12-hour day for the team on live streaming.
Ryan opening, ace jack under the gun at +3. So effective low jack. Gets a call from Mindongus.
Flop time, king, queen, 8, 2 clubs.
So Broadway draw for Ryan here.
No. 4 of spades, a 6 of clubs. I had to look carefully then. Well, it might have been a flush draw.
And the c-bet takes it down.
It does indeed.
Next hand.
We're here for another round about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. The last number of hands will be announced. And we always do a closing video with one of the chip leaders that we can get to. So we'll be giving you the ending video as always to finish and conclude the live stream's entertainment for today. Are we going to see any monster pots before the end of the day, or is everybody settled and ready for day 2?
Well, I think what we will see, the bigger stacks at the table may start upping the aggression. But the problem is, I just said this when you weren't here, there's only one stack at the table, and he's not even short stack now actually, Aaron. 25 big blinds is the shortest stack at the table, so you can't really apply pressure to the 15 to 20 big blind stacks that want to just creep into day 2. So the dynamic at this table may be a lot different to the dynamic at some of the outer tables just because of the stack sizes.
King 10 for Ryan takes the lead on the flop of king 5-3 and bets out.
And Lee gets out of the way with just ace high.
So the cards are out. Next hand, 27 players left. Gary says it's going to be 4 hands. After it's usually 4, 5 or 6 to choose from. I think the trend has always been high.
Yeah, always, all year
Always
round.
been high. So
It's never 4, is it?
no.
I think it's probably been 4 once this year.
Ace Jack for Gary raises to 2.2 in mid position. Animus 3 bets to 5.5. Lee has got pocket 3s. Gets out of the way. Aaron's got ace 3. Nope, gets out of the way. Doesn't want to see any kind of flop. So Gary makes it up and we see a flop. Jack 7-4 doesn't help Animus, even though he's going up and down straight draw. I'm saying he doesn't help him, he's going up and down straight draw against top pair, top kicker.
Yeah, we've got a bit of an action flop here.
Could see some action.
So Aramis 3 bet, Gary's appealed the ace jack out of position, flop top pair, top kicker, 5 on the turn. So Aramis now has a pair to go with his up and down. Interesting to see whether he elects to double barrel or. So once he double barrels now, after 3 bet and pre-flop, he's pretty much repping queens, kings, aces, and that's about it. He can have jacks, but from Gary's standpoint, we have a jack in our hand, only one combo of pocket jacks. So the hands he's repping for value. As bluffs, he can have flush draws, maybe some gutter balls like 8-9 suited that he elected to 3 bet bluff and is now turned double gutter.
So the river. Oh, the river's a 5.
Now this is
Trips for Aramis.
What did Gary have happened?
Trips for Aramis.
So this is a dream river for Aramis here, so disguised in a 3 bet pot.
25,000. It's half for Gary's stack. It brings the flush draw, it pairs the board. There's straights, there's all sorts. How wet would you like a board? 2 pair for Gary.
A really tough spot here for Gary. So from a value perspective, he makes the call.
And the 5 is shown for trip 5s, and he can't believe how unlucky he got. And the ace jack, Gary, has just been riveted. Animus with the 6-5 gets his stack up to 122,000 and chip leader. So a big hand for Animus and a big stack now. Take some prizing off him, them chips.
I can check on the system. Yeah. So chip counts are in, yeah? Yeah, that's why I said it looks like that.
Queen Ace 7, all hearts. Top pair for Erimus. Bottom pair was check, check. King of hearts on the turn. Was check, check. We're showing ace. That'll do. Great entertainment as always. Finishing off the day with a couple of interviews with players around the room as the guys are wandering out. We'll be shouting a certain number of hands very shortly.
I'm surprised it's not now because there's less than 10 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, not heard anything. No shouting. Unless I missed it, which I don't think I did.
I think when there's less than 10 minutes on the clock, it should be between 3, 4 and 5. I think that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, well, it averages out at 2 minutes a hand, doesn't it? So pausing the clock at 10 minutes and giving them 4, 5 or 6 is probably a little bit generous to the players.
Incoming squeeze from Ryan out the small. That's what I'm expecting.
6,000.
And he does squeezes to 6k. Really nice hand to do it with
Raised
both.
to 6,000.
King, queen.
Yeah, I like that.
Out of position. There's 3 limps in front of him. Sizing's fine. King, queen.
Gary's coming along with the old 3 deuce.
Block a lot of hands. That can continue.
We don't block anything from 3 deuce.
There's both Gary and Erimus called here. Wow, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure why Gary's peeled off with a 33 big blind stack with the nut low, and then I'm not sure why Erimus is called with just 9 high here. Perhaps they know something.
Ace deuce 3. Maybe you know something. With the old deuce 3. He's got 28,000. I'm making it chunky.
Ryan's going to continue this board after the way this hand's played. He can probably have a lot of ace-x.
Enjoy the football. See you on Sunday.
See you on Sunday,
And with his stack size and what's in the pot, Gary's only got one option here. 3
Well,
deuce.
any raising means he's not folding.
Very vulnerable hand. Can't just make it 12k and leave himself with like a quarter pot bet behind, so he's only got one play here, and that's to say I'm all in.
He has done it. The triangle is in the middle and a snap fold. Foldy, foldy.
Yeah, I think if Ryan watches this hand back on stream, he'll be a bit tilted. Should have got through the squeeze there. Nor 3 deuce, nor 9-6 should have been in the hand.
Cheers, Mark. Glad you're enjoying the coverage out in Greece.
There's Raji.
And yes, let us know if you're in Luton. Always make yourself known to us. Always good to meet people who watch the live stream on a regular basis. Last 6. Awesome.
Always a high number.
Always a high number. Should average out at 2 minutes hand, but 6 hands is a bit generous for the players, but that is part of the game. 6 to play. Mark Pennington, enjoy the rest of your holiday and we'll see you in Luton, fingers crossed. I'll look out for somebody with a nice tan. The last 6 hands is upon us. So this is the first of 6. Flop time. Heads up. Ryan with 60,000, Lee with 104. Ace King 7. Good flop for Lee.
He's going to check this back a lot of the time, I think, Ryan, when it's checked over to him. Okay, so Lee's elected to donk this flop for 4.5k. Flopping top pair.
He's going to get called though, isn't he?
Yeah, Ryan's not folding this hand in this spot. I think if it was checked over to the pre-flop aggressor, it would have gone. Okay, sorry, it makes more sense. Lee had the betting lead pre-flop. That makes more sense. Now this is a turn where I expect it to go check check, but he's barreling once again here, and that's why I like the check there with the ace-8. You can't really get a worse hand to continue. You're sort of isolating a better range against your hand when they do continue in that spot. For example, Ryan folding out the nut king there, snap folded it.
5 left. A 5, a left.
5 left.
Michael, under the gun.
Ace Queen will be coming in for a raise.
It's a 2.5.
Mindaugas Kings on this direct left.
Boom. Shakalaka. Just calls.
Very
Kings.
deceptive. Ryan pocket 9s in the cutoff, just calls as well. And Eramus getting this price. We've seen him defending very wide in the big blinds, so I'm not going to say that he's going to be folding here, and he doesn't. He makes the call. 4-way to the flop. Jack 9, Ace Queen, pocket Kings, pocket 9s.
Does anybody hit that flop? Of course we see an ace when your king's out. Ace Queen 2. So about 6.5. Mindaugas has got the kings. Hating the ace on the flop. Yep, good fold.
Yeah, right fold.
2 or 3 times I've seen kings fold with an ace on the flop.
Yeah, four-handed, 4-way to the flop.
That is good for Michael.
Michael picks that one up.
Last 4.
This time Lee with the pocket 9s, facing an under the gun open from Mindaugas with the pocket 2s. Aaron with Ace King. This is only going one way.
It is.
And
It's in.
Ryan with Ace King
Wowzers,
as well.
wowzers, wowzers. All in, all in. Now what do the 9s do?
Well, if they could see the hands, cool, but 113k, Ryan shipped for 47, big effective. Got to let go of the 9s here.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. I know he's ahead in this spot, but should be folding. Pretty easy fold.
48,000 is the biggest stack to be calling.
Just because You don't think Ryan never does this with pocket eights? Like you're praying for a coin flip when you sort of devise the range of hands he can have. Ace queen suited, ace king, and then you got tens through aces. Like you just don't fare well against that range.
A lot easier to call with just against one opponent. Really hard against two. The nines are going to have to flick them in the muck. They does indeed, so we should have a chop pot.
Yeah, gonna.
Would like to see a chop pot. I don't want to see Aaron getting flushed out the door.
Well, both players with the suited ace king, so unless we see a rainbow flop, one of them could potentially flop a flush draw.
Oh, just flopping the absolute katangas. Drawing dead.
Wow.
And the jack of hearts for rubs. Another heart as well. Wow.
A disgusting way to bust the tournament. Back end of the day.
Very, very unlucky. You don't want to see a really bad... Aaron, last three hands of the evening. Wowzers. Cheers, Gary.
So last three hands.
Last three hands. McGindis is on the button when we deal the last hand. It is definitely an ouch moment. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So initial raise by Lean C8. Can't see his cards under the gun. Not sure why, because they're in the box. Ryan calls, and so does Mindigus with 6-4.
Nine's been passed around the last few hands.
Three players, 3 hands to go. 8, 5, 6 is the flop.
So a middle pair and a gut shot for Mindorgus. Ryan with the over pair and a gut shot. Lee after opening is going to continue. Call from Ryan.
Well, we've got a shot on a pair.
I think still got to let it go in this spot. Under the gun has continued on a board that should be good for the big blinds range. And then there's a call from under the gun +1.
He gets out of the way.
Yeah, correctly so as well.
Yeah. Heads up to the turn.
Always coming 7. King on the turn.
That helps.
Well, it's actually a good card for Lee's range here, and potentially he can double barrel.
All in.
Just moves all
For a
in.
huge 102,000.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this bet's about here. I don't know what he's supposed to have, what hand he can potentially turn up with, and Ryan gets out of the way. There's sort of no hand he should really ever have in that spot. that he's making it that size on the turn. It gets the job done. Some people just like picking up.
So last two hands. Video ending as always on GUKPT and everything else that we normally do.
Morning.
Oh yeah, turn up for the last 5 minutes a day, why
turn
don't
up
you?
for the last stand.
Here he comes.
Better late than never, eh?
Is in the
How's it
building.
going? Yeah, you good?
How are you,
Good
man?
to hear. Not too bad. Not too bad, yeah. Got here not so long ago.
Good stuff.
Chilled out for a bit and thought I'd come in, might get some food and drink if they're still serving.
Turn-
They've shut this bar, so
They are downstairs. Everything's open.
downstairs maybe. They're still serving food then.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Good luck.
Ah.
I don't, not too sure. But, last two hands for us, and then we are back. Wilkerson stood behind us. Have just turned up.
Oh, so what have I missed? Go on, give a quick
You've
recap.
missed everything. Quick recap. Teddy
Yeah.
Jordan doubled up very first hand of the tournament. Bust out before the next break.
Yeah.
And there's now about 13 chips.
How many bullets?
Just two.
Just two? Oh, okay. I heard a lot more, so just rumours then he was firing like 5-6 bullets with one.
Not at all.
So, okay.
Not at all.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
one
not- that's
re-entry.
good for Sherry. That's good for
Last
Sherry.
hand of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Video to finish with, as always. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you after this hand. Tomorrow, will Kasuf be on the tables tomorrow? Will we see him on the feature? Ali,
£1 million question.
£1 million question. Ali Malouk's flying as well. So
He's
there's
chip leader, is he?
one of the chip leaders. In fact, I think he is the chip leader.
Yeah.
Bagging up chips.
And Terry Jordan meet through the chunks.
Yeah. So the last hand video to finish as always, and then back tomorrow from 1:30. Thanks for tuning in all day long. Gary Whitehead, Queen 6 of Diamonds, gets involved under the gun +1. Anymas will get out of the way and back up 116,000. Indeedy, everybody's folding round in turn. The small blind gets out of the way. Back down to Ryan, who wants to see a flop for the final time today.
8-6 off.
63k, it's not bad today.
Ace, King 6.
So both pairs.
Both hit a 6.
Oh, cooler in progress.
This could be a check bet fold.
Queen 6 with back or flush draw.
Gary just gets out
Yeah.
of the way, and that is that.
And this is what they said at the end.
Marvellous.
We've just seen Teddy Jordan just disappear. He says, "See you Saturday, buddy." He took out the first person in Ian Simpson. I think it was the very first hand we'd just done the opening sequence, and on this table they collided and they went mad. And Teddy ended up with quads. He ended up with 40,000 after the first hand. He then got eliminated. He got back in, and he's one of the chip leaders on over 100,000 chips. But chip leader is Mr. Ali Malou. Ali Malou is chip leader as it stands at this moment in time. We are bagging and tagging. The guys are going to be bagging and tagging. We'll leave them to it, but Mr. Murphy, I've got a quick word with the Malouster, because he has just bagged and tagged. How many's he got? 200. Give me one of them, man. How's it been today?
Last level, I didn't play a hand. I passed few winning, but I didn't want to get involved. Even the last time, I'd have won it.
It's a great chunk of chips to be coming back on Saturday.
I hope I keep it calm.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose it.
You got a day off tomorrow. What do we do? Local event in the Grosvenor?
No, I've got a few things to do.
Yeah?
Yeah. We've seen the family.
Well, it's a fantastic stake. Well done.
Yeah.
always.
Do you reckon it will make a guarantee?
Oh, absolutely. Smash the guarantee. There'll be 200 runners in here tomorrow.
I hope so.
There'll be 150,000 in the
But
prize.
you want to do something about the rest of the tournament?
Well,
you know, £100 one, the £200 one.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the main,
yesterday.
The main event's the one to win.
No, yesterday, the £100 tournament, the first prize was £1,400, which is absolutely taking
we can't play them all.
No.
We can't play them all, and we'd
what
like
I'm
you to.
saying.
We'd like you to do well in the main events.
What I'm saying, if you can start a bit earlier, tell that bloody Ian.
Don't you swear to me, get me in trouble.
I'm not swearing.
Well
Tell
done.
that bloody
Give me your hand.
my mate.
Give me your hand.
Tell him to do.
We'll sort him out. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you moaning and groaning to yourself because you're chip leader. Sit down. Chip leader is Ali Malou on 200,000. Is always value for money. We'll see you tomorrow from 1:30 on the live stream for day 1B. Good night, everybody.
Well done, Alan.